What's up?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the New Covenant podcast, where we use the teachings of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church to navigate life in the New Covenant. And navigating life is exactly what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about like art in the Catholic Church or something like that.
Sacred art, yeah.
So, yeah, sacred art in the church and its effects on mental health. I didn't do any research. Did you do any research?
Yeah, I did some. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's just me then. All right.
Well, I did very cursory research.
Yeah, I mean, I did a little.
I was finishing up the second holy name article.
Okay.
So I was doing a little bit more on that, but yeah.
I didn't read the second holy name article.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I also.
How did you finish it up? Like,
Dr. Peter Kwasniewski also thought it was good. I guess he thought it was good. Like, okay, so for those who don't know, he reposted both of the articles. Okay? And I don't know if he did it like out of pity.
Yeah.
Because I just messaged him with the first of all, I had messaged him before to like ask him some questions about Latin Mass and the Anglican Ordinariate in specifically. But I just I messaged him, I linked him to the article, and I was like, hey, if you have time,
please read this.
Please read it. And I was looking for feedback. I really wasn't looking for him to promote it. But he never messaged me back, and he just reposted it on his Substack. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Cool guy.
Which I do appreciate it. Thank you.
He's probably not watching this.
No.
Yeah.
But just in case.
Peter Kawasaki.
But
Peter.
And he did this, and I did the same thing because I was like, well, we got. I don't know what's going on down there in my chair. Because we got a fair amount of eyes on the article and stuff, and a good amount of subscribers on our Substack from him reposting it. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me try again. And he did the same thing. He didn't reply.
He just reposted it.
He just reposted it, and I was like, okay, cool.
Shouts out to Peter.
But no, I think the second article is good. So it goes through an in-depth look at the obscenity laws that we talked about.
Yeah.
How does it start? It starts with how I found the manual, which is what we talked about in the episode, and then go into the obscenity laws, because what I was trying to do is paint a picture of old America versus the America we're in now.
Yeah.
And then I finish it up with a section called Theology of the Tongue, which I dived into a little bit of what John Chrysostom,
I think is right.
Chrysostom?
Chris is awesome.
Chris Awesome.
Yeah.
So I dived into some Chris is Awesome theology on that, and kind of wrapped it up with a little call to action and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I think it's good. I think the theology, I really like writing about theology, even though I'm not a theologian. Mm-hmm. I would like to be a theologian. I have seen a lot of people say you shouldn't try to be a theologian unless you have training in it.
I mean, what does it take to be a theologian?
I mean,
don't you? Isn't just pontificating on God with doctrine and
right. So normally you'd go through seminary and go that path. But honestly, a lot of the church's greatest theologians did not do that. Mm-hmm. For instance, Saint Ignatius of Loyola, which is my confirmation saint, just decided to be a priest. And also Louis Montfort. Actually, I might be wrong about Louis Montfort.
Isn't every saint a theologian in some sort of sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saint Teresa of Lisieux is actually a good example too.
Yeah, exactly. Her little way,
which is well, and here's the deal. Here's my thoughts on it, since we're on this topic anyway. It's okay, theology is not a study. It's not reading, if you're studying history, right? You got to know the facts. You got to know what other people have said about history.
Yeah.
But theology is way more of a living thing. The greatest theologians live their theology, right? So
Right.
they learn about theology by living a Catholic life, and not necessarily just like reading it in books and like studying what this guy and this guy has said,
Yeah.
which I think is what I try to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what every Catholic should try to do. You know, and obviously look at the great saints and read them and stuff. But I think if you live the Catholic way, then you will like kind of have theology ingrained in you.
For sure, because there's theology in anything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And so when you go, like, this has happened twice to me where I've like thought like I've had a good point and I've wanted to like explore it, and then I like realized that some church fathers have also like had the same thought and like written it out.
And you're like, I'm a
I'm
genius.
so smart. No, but I think it's like, you know, I think most theology is evident if you're living the faith, right? So like if you're not living the faith, it's going to be hard to understand what these people are talking about. But if you are living the faith, like you understand what Ignatius is talking about, you understand what, you know, even Thomas Aquinas with as dense his language is, how dense his language is, like yeah, because the church is like the church is a way of life. Like theology is a way of life, and so
Well, that's what the sacramental life is. It's living the spiritual life in the physical realm, right?
exactly.
Yeah. So,
yeah. It's living an incarnate faith.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so and truth is truth, like we've talked about before, right? So like things that are true, like
Yeah.
no matter the time period.
Yeah, and there's also just something to be learned about God and anything and everything because He created everything.
Yeah.
So there's bits of Him everywhere in everything and anything. And I think if you're looking for it, you can find Him. If you're looking for Him, you can find
100%. You can find, and you know this is evident in Christ's life. You know, why did God need to become man and suffer and die? You know, so He could show us that He is there in all situations, in all suffering,
All that, yeah.
in all persecution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there at your wedding and He's there at your deathbed,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And He's there when you're born, too.
He's there
Let's
when
not
you're
forget
born.
that.
Yeah. That was in.
Yeah, not a sponsor.
Maybe though. One day.
That would be wild.
That would be awesome.
That'd be crazy.
Kidding me? Is this sinful?
Sinful?
Forgive me,
No.
Father, for I have sinned.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either, right?
I mean, we're not overindulging. Maybe if you packed like 6 in, like somebody we know. No. That's my bad.
Oh my God. Oh my. Are you serious? How disrespectful, dude. Anyways, I just said, oh my God, and our last episode was about how you shouldn't do that.
That is my fiance calling.
Oh.
So we're going to do a quick jump cut.
We're back.
Anyway, we got some pizza.
We got some pizza. Had to take a break for the pizza.
This is a late night podcast.
Yeah, we usually we record in the morning, but right now we're vibing at night.
Yeah, dude.
Anyways, what were we talking about? We're talking about
I believe we were just talking about God a little bit.
Of course we were.
You know us.
So how can we find God in pizza? It was a theological exercise. I feel like.
Well, I mean, first we
Right
got to start with. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just look at this right now. This is a great time. This is what life is about.
No, yeah,
You know,
it's phenomenal. It's pretty phenomenal.
just chilling with a bro. Eating some za.
I will say yeast is crazy.
Yeast is crazy.
You know what I find crazy about pizza is that the universe is perfectly tuned to give us pizza.
Thank you, Lord.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, God.
Like without carbon existing and life existing, there'd be no yeast.
Yeah.
And you know about carbon. Carbon's crazy. Like the statistical probability of carbon like happening,
Yeah.
it's like super low.
Sorry, guys. I know you can hear me eating this pizza in the mic. And you know what? I hope you enjoy.
I hope you enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Some people really don't like that, by the way. You know that?
Some people really like it. Did you know that?
That's a little weird.
Some people, it's like ASMR.
Yeah, some people are really like, people don't like mouth sounds. Some people really hate mouth sounds. Which I'm like,
that's weird.
Mind your business.
What a weird thing to be upset about.
I understand. It's kind of gross, I guess.
Anyways, explain this, atheists.
Explain how fermentation just happens.
Yeah, and it gives us delicious pizza. You telling me if I left dough and marinara sauce and cheese in a room and just waited thousands of years,
it's going to be a pizza?
That it's going to be a pizza? Explain this, atheist.
No, it takes a creator. It takes a pizza man.
That's exactly right.
It takes a pizza man.
Yeah.
You telling me all it just happened? This is an accident?
I used to be an atheist. I used to be like, what is truth? And I used to think that was like the most profound thought I've ever had, you know?
Yeah. You know, yeah, I mean, man, it's like, to me, everything goes back to the Enlightenment sucking. I really don't like the Enlightenment. Like, because it's kind of like the start of the downfall of the West. And, like, even calling it the Enlightenment, I think, is like a trick.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's interesting because a lot of people would say the opposite.
Yeah,
that it's like the rise of enlightened thought.
Yeah, it's the rise of rejecting everything that every part of Western civilization built before that time period. Like, it's like, you know, obviously I'm just going off the top of the dome here. But, okay, before the Enlightenment, this is when you get all the atheistic thoughts, right? So before the Enlightenment, science was predominantly majority Catholic. There were some, you know, Arab countries doing things, but even they were just pulling from what the Greeks did. But like 90% of the scientific knowledge that we have now was discovered by Catholic scientists. Why? First, because it's a little bit out of necessity, I guess, because the Catholic Church was the West for a long time. But also it's because priests, you know, were very interested in understanding the universe to understand how God works.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So, like, genetics, physics, geology,
understanding
biology, all of this all of those have Catholic scientific fathers behind them. And when the Enlightenment came around, like, it literally just got thrown out the window for like no real reason besides the elevation of reason, right? So like it's almost like an idolatry thing where people like made an idol out of reason and then was like, well, we don't need God, we just need reason. And so the Enlightenment started this, you know, leaning toward... The Enlightenment is why all of the founding fathers, almost all of them, were deists who believed that, like, the universe was made like a clock and God wound it up and then, like, walked off and it's not present in the universe anymore and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And that leads... I mean, that's not as bad as atheism, I guess, but it directly leads to atheism, right? And it's bad. It's terrible.
It doesn't logically follow because why would a god or any creator carefully design this universe with obvious care? Like for example, the fact that we have taste buds and the fact that we have good food and we can enjoy food or we can enjoy a sunset or we can enjoy good music. Because if you really think about it and take it to its logical conclusion, none of those things have really any evolutionary benefit. You could say that it does, like we like good food and it motivates us to hunt for good food and that, you know, brings on survival.
Stuff or whatever.
Or so we don't eat stuff that's bad for us or something like that. But why make us be able to enjoy the food?
Why make it pleasurable?
Why make it pleasurable? Because that doesn't really have any evolutionary benefit. Why we could just be like the animals who just kill and eat. Why make it pleasurable? So that gives us an idea that God created the earth or created us with care, that he made us capable of eating pleasurable food.
Mm-hmm.
So if he made us with care, why then would he just like not be present?
Well, it goes even further than that. It's like, you know, I believe it's John Chrysostom. It might have been Augustine. I think it was John Chrysostom, though. Or it might have been Basil the Great. One of these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically said, okay, you can tell from the way an animal is made, basically, the way an animal looks. This is kind of a weird, kind of greatly profound theological point, which is that an animal's head is down. So if you think about like a four-legged animal, like a cow, a dog, anything, its head is down towards the ground, looking at its belly for most of its life. And so, like, a beast is concerned with its appetites.
Oh.
But man is made upright so that his eyes can look up, because the main faculty of man is to look to the heavens, right? So it's like beyond the pleasurable appetites that we have obtained, we have a unique sense of reason, right? And so I think this is why the devil tries to use reason as a weapon against God, because it is the thing that most directly points to God. So there's something to be said about, like, of course, like, we can have pleasurable experiences, but we're also made to, like, think beyond our experience, which no other animal does, and we have no real evolutionary reason to do that. Like, if we were just like the prime survivor, like, we would not be concerned with things that would put us into existential crises. Like, existential crisis is a big problem with evolutionary thought, because it's like, and I know about a thing or two about evolutionary thought. I got Origin of the Species right there. Okay, but like, it makes no sense for a organism to evolve the capacity to go into depression, right? So it's like, and people want to reason their way out of that, but we have a heart and a head that are made for contemplation.
Yeah.
Right? And like, the Greeks recognize this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the West recognized this until the Enlightenment, which is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I hate the Enlightenment so much.
One could say that, like, depression is an evolutionary tool to keep us active. Like, once we are, or it's like a depression will weed out the weak ones, and that is the evolutionary benefit to depression.
Yeah, and some people will say it's like it's a social.
What do you say to those people?
I say, have you ever experienced depression? You can be depressed when your life is great. You can be depressed when you're surrounded by friends. It's a very interior thing, right? So it's like, no, it's not a weapon against social cohesion. Like, if you're ostracized by a community, right? People will say this, like, if you're ostracized by a community and your social, like, network is messed up, you go into depression so that, like, you're urged to repair your social life. But, like, first of all, if that's it, it's a terrible tool, because it never works. Okay? Like, you find somebody who's in a deep depression, they're not motivated to fix it. Right? Mm-hmm. It's not motivating you towards something that is going to lead to your flourishing in and of itself. Like, so it's not a tool, it's not an evolutionary tool to get you out of a space. It is the result of being disconnected from God. Like, or it is a test put upon you by God, which could be another theological reason for somebody being depressed. Like the dark night of the soul, obviously, right? So God gives you the things that you need at the time that you need them. And so the writings on the dark night of the soul, which is Teresa of Avila, and I believe John Chrysostom as well, kind of made some commentaries on it.
St. John of the Cross.
St. John of the Cross, yeah, sorry. Chrysostom's in my head right now. St. John of the Cross and Teresa of Avila, is this correct? But anyway, dark night of the soul basically is like, okay, there comes a time when God's going to take away your consolation. Mm-hmm. Your initial consolation. Okay, and God's goal is to bring you into a full understanding of who he is, into better union with him. So a lot of the times when converts convert initially, they get a lot of consolation in prayer. They get a lot of like nice feelings in prayer.
Yeah.
But God has to take that away at some point.
Yeah, he does.
Otherwise, you make an idol of it, right? So otherwise, you're praying to get the consolation.
Yes.
So you have to understand.
And then at that point, you're using God like a drug.
Yes.
Because you're using it for the feeling.
Yes.
You're using it for the feeling that he gives you.
And
And then God turns into a drug, effectively.
Yeah, and so God teaches you through the dark night of the soul or depression or dry prayer and teaches you that this is not, first of all, it's not a feel-good religion.
It's not.
You know, Catholicism is not a feel-good religion, okay? Maybe some Protestant sects are, you know. I don't want to talk mess about the Protestants or whatever, but, you know, that's my bad. That's my speaker. I'll turn that off. But it's not. Yeah. So the only way every part of the human experience makes sense is through the lens of Jesus Christ as your Savior, right? And through God teaching you the lessons that you need to learn.
Yep.
So that's what I would say to the people who say depression is an evolutionary thing. I say, show me the evolutionary advantage in it, and show me through evolutionary mechanisms how it gets remedied, right? Because what are our remedies for depression now in our time? Chemicals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's no chemical fix for a spiritual problem.
Yeah, there's not even really a basis of study that actually proves that the depressed brain and a non-depressed brain have any chemical difference at all. This is like one of the big lies that's been told in our modern era. I believe it was Michael Knowles. If anybody watches the Michael Knowles show, it's a very good show. Who just had a neuroscientist on who's been kind of like ostracized from the neuroscience community because he's constantly talks about this. There's no study that's been done that has ever verified that depression is a chemical imbalance.
That's crazy because that's all I've ever heard. Is that it's a chemical imbalance.
Yeah, that's all a lie.
Yeah,
that's all a lie.
Yeah. Why do you think they lied about that?
To sell drugs.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, to make people dependent on their company.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a very big conspiracy guy, but like, that just seems evident to me. Like, that seems evident and truthful, and it might have started in a good place.
And it was probably by, I can't say what doctor it was. It was a...
No, but for real, like, no, yeah. And so, like, you have... And first of all, these drugs are terrible. You know, they make you infertile. They actually, in most cases, like, just don't even help. They just, like, make it worse.
Yeah, there's I think like RFK.
I'm talking about
SSRIs.
SSRIs.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think our RFK is like doing an investigation into SSRIs and the link between SSRIs and school shootings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like
what they do is they don't do what they say they do, which is like restore your chemical balance. They just deaden all of your neuroreceptors.
Yeah, they like numb you so that you don't feel anything, and so in not feeling anything, you obviously will not feel sad and depressed.
Which is like, what a diabolical piece of demon work that is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like, yeah. So like, oh, dude. Yeah, it's super evil. Super evil.
Yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? We're talking about the dark night of the soul. Talking about depression. Yeah, I mean, this is not Christianity is not a feel-good religion. I mean, our Lord suffered and died. I guess I'll kind of get into it, but I am kind of feeling depressed. You know, I'm kind of going through a lot. You know, I just lost a relationship, somebody that I was like engaged to be married to. We lived together. We started living together before I converted to Catholicism, and so we lived together for about 3 years, engaged to be married. And I'm not going to get into the details of how or what happened or whatever, but I lost it, And in an instant, I lost my home. I have 4 dogs that I love, and I will never see them again. And I'll never see this home that I loved again, and this life that I built and I hoped for, I'll never see again. And it's like, but it's sort of a gift because I can kind of resonate more with the sorrowful mysteries of the Rosary, especially our Lord's agony in the garden, when he's praying and he's saying, "Take this cup from me." I really resonate with that. We've all had that moment of praying to God and saying, "Please take this cup from me. Take this from me."
But what's the second part of that?
Yeah, but if it be your will, if it be your will, let's let it happen.
Yep.
And
God didn't take the cup from Jesus.
Exactly.
That is a very poignant theological point.
I'm a theologian.
Yeah.
If you didn't know. No, but there was probably not a single, at the time that Jesus was alive, there probably wasn't a single person on earth who really cared for him, besides his mother. His friends in the garden were asleep, and he was like, can you not stay awake with me 1 hour and pray with me 1 hour? His friends that were supposed to be there for him weren't there for him. And God, I wonder what that felt like. Well, I do know what that feels like. And just to be utterly alone, to love everybody perfectly, and to never have that reciprocated by anyone around you ever. It's like, no wonder he wept. That verse, it kind of gets dumbed down to trivia. Like, do you know what the shortest verse
in the scriptures?
Yeah, the shortest verse in the Bible. But like, have you ever meditated on it? Like, no wonder he wept. No wonder he wept. The people that he came to love and love perfectly betrayed him, spat in his face, denied him, and killed him. No wonder he wept. That's a tough thing to go through. And I guess just to bring it back to my situation, the person I was with, and I'm not going to go into any detail, this is as much as I'll go into, but the person I was with never really cared for me, in the way that I thought. And the love that I poured in was never really reciprocated in the way that I needed. And I wept. And it was a real blessing because I could stare at the crucifix and I could know our Lord knows what this feels like. He knows what this despair feels like and the sorrow. He knows what it feels like. And I got a real deep connection with the sorrowful mysteries, and it was a real blessing. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, if we take it back to kind of what we said earlier about Catholicism not being a feel-good religion, Jesus, God, allowed all this stuff to happen to him, okay?
Right.
In his permissive will and his active will, actually, He allowed all this stuff to happen for this exact reason. So, not a lot of people get, and this is, truly a blessing, because not a lot of people really get to feel this mystery of Christ's life, where it's almost like the whole thing. The whole thing of Christ's life is I'm going to walk as a man to show you what it means to walk as a man, right? So he suffered, he died, he was ridiculed, he took on everything that could be taken on,
Right.
so that his faithful, his sheep, when they were at this point, could look to him and he would know exactly what they felt.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And they would know that the God of the world is a loving God, to be sure, but he's also a God that will go into Hades. He'll go into Sheol. He'll pick you up out of there and ascend you into heaven, right? He'll take you at your lowest, and he's a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He comes for the sinners and the lowly and the broken. And, you don't you can read that all day. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of good. This kind of ties into what we were talking about theology earlier, but, you can read that all day, but once you live it,
Yeah.
you have way more of an understanding of what it means to be a Catholic and what it means to be, a follower of Christ, an actual follower. And it lets you into the actual significance of the crucifixion. Because in our time, we don't really understand what this is. Okay, we don't really understand how truly shocking it is that God is on a cross and that he died.
Yeah, he's being murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only was he murdered, he was tortured. And he was beaten.
Yeah, he was tortured.
And he was rejected by his people. By the people of Israel.
He was spat on and...
Yeah, by the people of Israel, whom he had been shepherding for thousands of years. Okay?
Yeah,
and when he shows up as the Messiah, this is what happens. And so, yes.
No wonder he wept.
Yes, 100%.
No wonder he wept.
And, yeah, I mean, this is basically what Christianity boils down to. Is that our God's on a cross. And that's why the Catholic Church keeps him on a cross. Okay? There's, not to go into like different, yelling about Protestants or whatever, but...
Yeah, they don't do that. They don't really like to portray Christ's crucifixion.
No.
It's just a blank cross. So like, oh, he's off the cross. Yeah, they focus on the resurrection, which is a good thing. Like you can't have the resurrection without the Good Friday. And it's
But you cannot feel the weight of the resurrection.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the crucifixion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't feel the significance.
Yeah.
Of being raised up when you've never fallen down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean.
Yeah, a lot of people say like, I want to be like Jesus.
No, you don't.
No.
No, you do not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you?
No.
Do you want to be like Jesus? Do you want to love everybody perfectly and be rejected by everyone? By everyone. Like, do you think that Jesus wanted to be loved, like as a human?
Yes.
Like how we desire, like,
yes.
love and from friends or like a spouse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He constantly got his heart broken.
Exactly.
By Peter, by all of his apostles.
Yeah.
Perhaps the only one who did not scorn him was Mary and Joseph.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody loved him or cared for him, probably on that earth except for his mother.
Yeah, 100%. And so, man, just kind of that tells you a lot about the significance of Mary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, dude. No, you don't want to. And this is what he tells us in the Lord's Prayer. This is why we pray, lead us not into temptation, because we will fail.
Yeah.
Like, please don't.
Yeah.
Just deliver us from evil.
Just deliver us from evil, please.
Don't,
exactly.
Give us our daily bread, which is actually our super substantial bread.
Yeah.
Our super substantial. I like that. But yeah, give us what we need today, and please do not deliver me into temptation. Because we are way weaker than Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we are.
Yeah.
And that's why we need him.
And like, imagine having, I don't know, like, I was just staring at that crucifix at Mass, and I just, like, started to weep. But I had a lot of comfort in knowing that the God of the universe knows exactly what sorrow feels like. And there's a lot of comfort in that.
He knows a deeper sorrow than any of us will know.
Right, because he's perfect. He loved perfectly. He was perfect, and I feel like, at least for me, I've always thought like, oh, he's perfect, that means he never got upset. Or he never got angry, or he never got whatever. But he's perfect, so that also means that he reacted perfectly, which is why he wept. Because he's perfect and reacted perfectly, he felt sorrow perfectly.
Yes, exactly. And so, like, and he felt like he was 100% human. He had 100% human nature. Obviously, he's 100% God as well. It's the mystery of Jesus Christ and the dual natures of his divinity. But, he flipped the tables.
Yeah, he flipped.
He felt righteous indignation.
He got angry. He never sinned in his anger, but he felt it. Yeah.
And in the garden, he was so stressed he sweated blood.
Yeah.
Which is like an actual medical phenomenon that happens.
Yeah, it is. He felt sorrow perfectly, which I think is very significant.
Like,
yeah,
and when he was getting crucified, Lord, forgive them. That is him being perfectly sorrow for the state of the people, because he knows they're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not gonna accept him.
No.
Or he's hoping that they will.
Yeah.
And he's praying for them as he's being
Yeah,
murdered by them.
Yeah, and he knows, he knows how damaging that is going to be to their soul.
Yeah.
And so it's like another level of understanding that we will probably never get to, is like, I'm being murdered, but I care about these people murdering me so much. Like, only very few saints have done this. And one of them being a child saint that I know of. But, yeah, I mean, no, for real. You definitely don't want to live the life of Jesus. I mean, you want to imitate it as closely as you can.
You want to try to love perfectly.
Yeah, and this is why.
Yeah.
It's another thing. This is why the great saints who do imitate his life are welcomed into the stigmata. Mm-hmm. And Padre Pio.
Yeah.
Padre Pio.
I know.
He had the visible stigmata, right?
PP.
So he would lose like a liter of blood a day. Okay. But from the Divine Mercy, Sister Faustina, I think, is the first time this was like privately revealed about the wound on Jesus' shoulder, which was like the most painful wound, right? Well, Padre Pio had this wound as well as part of his stigmata, but he never told anybody. And the only reason that people know about it is that when he died, they found it.
Wow.
Yeah, they found it. So, yeah, if being as close to Christ as possible means you feel his wounds, that tells you all you need to know.
Exactly.
Right?
Being close to him.
Being close to Christ is not a feel good.
It's not.
I mean, of course, you're gonna have consolation. You're gonna take part in the joys of Christ as well. But that is not all. That's not all. A large part of it is suffering first of all, because we have to make recompense. There is a divine justice to this world, right? And all of us are sinners. So, we all have to make recompense at some point, right? That's part of kind of what purgatory is. Nobody really knows what purgatory is, whether we're in pain, whether we're, literally getting our selfish desires burned away. But even just thinking about it, purging yourself of everything that's keeping you from God's going to hurt, right?
Yeah.
We used to be wild boys.
Yeah, we used to be some wild boys.
Dropping all that stuff is a type of sorrow.
Sure.
Amending your life is I feel like, amending your life is supposed to hurt and supposed to be pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, there's a verse in John where he's like, "You need to burn the dead wood off of you."
Yeah,
and that's a painful process.
Yeah,
you need to cut off the branches that don't bear good fruit, and people don't want to burn the dead wood off of them. Jordan Peterson said this. People don't want to burn the dead fruit off of them because people are 95%
dead fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so. We're converts, okay?
Yeah.
Truly converting is like a tough decision. Mm-hmm. Truly choosing to follow Christ means you're going to change your entire life. Mm-hmm. And you're probably going to lose some friends. You're probably going to make it awkward with your family. This is why I really feel for Mohammedists, which is I have determined to only say that now.
Yeah.
I like it way better.
Yeah.
But in their religion, right? Becoming a Christian is the worst thing you can do. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be super tough.
Yeah.
For somebody to make that decision, because they're going to lose their family.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, they have to.
They're going to be hated.
Yeah.
Right. And this is what I listened to that Pints Aquinas guy. I forget his name. But he was the Mohammedists who convert make crazy Christians because they are they're
gonna lose everything.
It's not like me and you, sure, some stuff's going to be awkward when we converted, but like I didn't have to like give up my mom and dad or anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't get any death threats or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I mean they were kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
So like Americans are in a very privileged, now unless you have like a crazy mom, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's like a tough thing. Like following Christ is not easy. I mean, I'm sure like that's probably obvious.
Right.
But it might not be to some people. If you're looking into Catholicism though and watching this, you probably already came to that conclusion that like being a Catholic is pretty tough.
Yeah, and if you're in a position or if you're going to a church where it seems to be only about the good times. Like when I was in middle school, I used to go to a church where it was hyper charismatic, where it was about like the healings and you're going to get the job and you're going to get the money and you're going to get all this stuff because God wants to give you gifts and he loves you and you're going to have this profound
so crazy.
Spiritual experience because it's like because God's going to give you his presence and you're going to feel it tangibly because he loves you. And I never got that. And so my conclusion from that was, well, I guess God doesn't love me.
You know what, dude? I'm kind of synthesizing this in my brain right now. But like, obviously all of Christ's life is teaching somebody how to love properly, right?
Yeah.
And so love is not like we were talking about. Love is not like a warm feeling type of thing.
Yeah.
Love is pretty tough.
Yeah.
To love properly is actually very hard. Okay? Which is why not a lot of people get to that point where they can actually love properly. But, you know, off the top of my head, that is pretty much Christ's life, is trying to teach people how to love properly. And through imitating his life, we will eventually get to where we can actually love properly. And like the main object of our love should be Jesus, right? And he's a father, right? God's the Father. He's our Father, and a father's love is not doing anybody favors if it's always giving you what you want, right? It has to teach you the actual things you need to learn.
Yeah.
A lot of those things are hard to learn.
Yeah.
And a lot of it takes suffering. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, to love perfectly is not...
Yeah, and if you're ever in a situation, listener, where you are, I don't know, you feel like you're pouring love into someone who doesn't reciprocate or is not loving you back properly or whatever, and you feel like it's all wasted, it's not wasted. Because whatever you do unto the least of these, you do unto him. And so every bit of love that you poured into that is done unto Jesus. And he feels it, and it's not wasted. So I just wanted to say that if anybody can resonate with what we're saying. To love somebody and not receive anything back is not wasted love. It's not. Because it's loving through that action. You're loving Christ, and he feels it, and he counts it, and he knows.
Yeah.
So.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, again, it's like all of Christ's life is him trying to love people who are constantly rejecting him. So it's, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll close that our door opened.
Oh, man.
Catholicism is not a feel-good religion. I feel like that's probably
it's not a feel-good religion.
The main idea that we've been talking about.
Yeah, Mother Teresa. I read this thing recently, just trying to like read up on stuff about sorrow and stuff. Apparently, Mother Teresa never felt close to God, and in her entire ministry, she never felt close to God. She felt like she was, praying into an abyss, and her prayers were never felt. But she got up every day.
Yep.
And she kissed lepers.
Yeah.
And she loved orphans, and she took the Eucharist, because it's not about, again, Catholicism is not a feel-good religion. It's not about feeling good it's about seeking Him. That's what it's all about. We're not called to a good life. We're called to holiness.
Yeah.
And we're called to seek Him.
Yeah.
Happiness and things that are joyful. I mean, not joyful, but happiness and things that make us feel good. They're fleeting things. It can be gone tomorrow. Yeah, we need to
probably will be.
And it probably will be. You know, everything can just be gone, and we need to be looking to things that are eternal. We need to be seeking Him. And you know, an atheist or someone who's against the religion might hear this and be like, "This is terrible. This is a terrible thing. Why would I sign up for this? Why would I? What is? Well, it's like
it's going to happen to you whether you like it or not.
It's going to happen to you whether you like it or not. And imagine having a worldview where literally nothing matters.
It means nothing.
It means nothing.
So
yeah,
it's so contrary to like 90% of human thought throughout history.
Yeah.
Like atheism is pretty new.
Yeah, you want to talk about sophisticated thought? Imagine taking the worst sorrow possible and pontificating it and finding the good in it. You want to talk about sophisticated thought? Like that takes sophistication.
Yeah. The entire Western civilization was built off of imitating a man's a God man's life.
Yeah.
And his life was 33 years long, and he got murdered.
Yeah. Right. And if you want to chase things that are, I don't know, that make you happy, you know, you're always going to be chasing it.
Yeah.
It's going to be gone. It's going to be there, and it's going to be gone, and then you're going to find another thing, and it's going to be gone, and you're going to try to find another thing, and it's going to be gone. Mm-hmm. I used to. So I play chase tag, and it's
tag.
It's tag. It's professional tag. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually cool.
It's actually
It's actually really cool.
It's actually hyper cool.
If you have a chance, just go search up World Chase Tag on YouTube. And
it's actually kind of peak athleticism.
Yeah, it's definitely the. You
probably,
have to be the perfect athlete.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I used to have my identity sort of wrapped up in it. Like I wanted to be the person who was good at it because I wasn't. You know, I went on ESPN 3 times.
Me too, by the way.
And I embarrassed myself on ESPN, on national TV. I didn't make my tags. I didn't get any points. I essentially like lost the match for my team a few times. Like it was, I absolutely embarrassed myself, and I strived and I strived and I strived and I trained for years, waiting for that moment to redeem myself in that sport. And then I step on somebody's foot, sprain my ankle, and now I have a bone spur, and I'll never run the same or jump the same again. And so that has just been taken from me. And so it's like God is like, you think that you think your life is going to be one way, you think that this is going to fulfill you. It's not, right? Like you have to look to something, because anything that you do can just be taken from you today, tomorrow, in an instant. Anything that you think is your wife, your job, your kids, your car, your money, your whatever, all of that can just burn to the ground tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you have? Who are you after that? You know, you could get into a car accident and be paralyzed and never walk again. Who are you? What do you really have after that? Mm-hmm. And yeah, and it really is a blessing to have to be tested like that. Like, who are you, and what do you have, and what kind of a man are you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I'm really resonating with this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is kind of what, like the desert fathers and hermits, like, try to intentionally put themselves in this type of situation where they have nothing, so that their sole focus is God. But, you know, and there is credit to that, right, whatever. But, like, from the readings I've done on the saints, the greatest saints have just had this happen, have been picked by God, basically, to have things like this happen to them, because He knows all things, right? And it's not a predestination thing, but He knows who's going to react properly and sets the task in front of them, right? So, if you're listening and you're going through like a similar thing where you're like losing all this stuff, okay, try, it's tough, okay? I'm not going to say it's not tough, but try to view it as a calling, right? Try to view it as, okay, God, it's like that thing, whatever little saying that people say. It's like, God he won't give you anything that you're like unable to handle or whatever, right? So obviously, you have been set apart for something greater than whatever you are doing right now or whatever you had lost or whatever. And like, if you've lost family and stuff, that's a very tough thing, okay? And like, just try not to be mad at God and try to recognize the calling that lays underneath all of that. You know what I'm saying? And take up your cross, brah. Because taking up your cross and walking with it is a lifelong thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also if you're a listener and you're not dealing with something crazy right now, because not everybody deals with crazy things sometimes, and you're just, I don't know, maybe the things that you're dealing with are you might see as like insignificant or whatever. The Christian life, what makes a saint is not like praying, and then I'm good enough now where I'm not going to have to go to confession next week. I'm good enough now, I'm holy enough now to where I'm good. I'm good now. That's not what makes a saint. What makes a saint is dependency on God. So if you're like dealing with like an addiction, like a lust addiction or whatever, or something maybe you think is small, everything I think is supposed to push us to dependency on God. That's what makes a saint, is understanding how much you really need Him. You need to be close to Him. I used to think that like if I just pray a rosary every day, and I up my prayer life and I try to get as many indulgences and as many graces as I can, that then I'll be good. Then I won't sin anymore, and
my life will be easy.
My life will be easy, and then I won't have to go to confession, like, because I have to go to confession like every other day, and I won't have to go to confession again, and then I'll be good, and then I'll be a holy man. But that's not what makes a holy man. What makes a holy man is understanding your need and dependency on God. So yeah,
because nobody would be a saint if that was the case, right?
Yeah.
And nobody would be able to communicate the life of a Christian if that was the case anyway. So yeah, it's like you're not gonna get there. Like whatever you think, and Ignatius of Loyola learned this as well, where it's like the striving to be holy can become an idol within itself, and it's also a little bit of a cop out, right? Because it's like it's prayer is a relationship. Truly, it's not like a trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I do this, I get this. It's a relationship that you're building with an actual person,
Right.
who's God. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this was a depressing episode, but I hope it helps somebody. I hope somebody can listen to this and find some sort of comfort. What does somebody do what should somebody do if they find themselves in sorrow?
First pray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just pray. Like don't really do like a petitioning prayer is what I would say. I would say just pray to be closer to God and understand. Okay. Second is like recognizing, in my opinion, that like grief is not something that you like really get over. Grief is something that you carry. It's a cross, right? And like it's gonna stay with you. You're gonna keep your grief probably throughout your entire life. You're gonna get better at like handling it and dealing with it and stuff like that. But your grief will stay with you. Yeah, I think it's a false hope to say that you will ever be like oh, I don't care about that anymore or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a pretty false thing, and I think that leads a lot of people to just even deeper, sorrow.
Yeah.
So I would say, if you're experiencing something, pray, accept the grief, okay?
Yeah.
Accept it as God's will, because it's obviously God's will, okay? And thirdly is like, every sorrow is an opportunity to align yourself more with Christ, right?
Absolutely.
So try to do that. Try to use your grief to draw yourself closer to God. And God's not going to leave you hanging, okay? He will console you. It might not be in the way that you want to be consoled. It might not be in your time that you wish to be consoled.
Yeah.
Okay? You might not find consolation until you see him.
Yeah.
Which means like dying. That's part of his will. And so the only thing that is for sure is that we have a short time here and we have eternity in heaven.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so it's not going to all get fixed here.
Yeah, no, never.
It's not going to all get fixed here. And that's evident because our God got murdered and crucified on a cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look to the cross.
Yeah, look to the cross. I would say, like, cry if you need to. If you feel it, let it out. Cry if you need to. Cry as much as you can. Offer it all up to God. Every tear, offer it to him. Offer it to the person that you're crying for. And this isn't just like a platitude or a cliche, but keep God at the center of your life. Kind of how McCoy's saying, just pray. Keep him at the center of your life, and always seek him.
Yeah, and if you don't know what to pray for that.
Yeah.
Pray to know what to pray for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. And he'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we are an Easter people, and the resurrection is real, and it will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are an Easter people, but we preach Christ crucified.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. So that was the New Covenant podcast.
That was the New Covenant podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, no, I think this is a good episode. I'm going to go ahead and throw up a Tolo Lege.
Tole.
Lege. Take up and read.
Tole.
And
take up and read
Totuus
articles. Totuus.
Totally yours.
Amen.